выступают на соревнованиях вместе и наравне с обычными спортсменами, спортсменами-юниорами. Инклюзивная программа позволяет не снижать стандарты парашютного спорта, а наоборот, позволить инвалидам соревноваться на равных с обычными спортсменами. Таким образом, инклюзивные команды позволяют выполнить специальную функцию спорта, социальную функцию спорта, без снижения уровня собственно спортивной составляющей. Отличие от адаптивных соревнований, правила тех соревнований, в которых участвовали наши инклюзивные команды, не делали скидок людям с ограниченными возможностями. Совместными усилиями нашим юниорам и инвалидам удалось соответствовать при проведении соревнований в своих выступлениях высочайшим нормативам парашютного спорта.
Good morning, distinguished guests, dear colleagues and friends. Everyone knows how much attention had traditionally been paid to the development and cultivation of technical sports in our country. And in almost all of these sports, Soviet and later Russian athletes represented their country with dignity and confidence on the world sports arena, while often acting as initiators in the development of new disciplines. Continuing the glorious traditions of athletes of previous generations, today's Russian skydivers reach new heights of development of traditional technical sports and expanding their mass scale and availability. The general trend in the development of modern sports is obvious, involving more and more people in physical activity. This also applies to people with disabilities. Paralympic sports and adaptive competitions have been a reality for already several years. However, over the past year in our country, the Russian Federation, we have implemented and tested a fundamentally new approach, an inclusive one. As part of inclusive teams, people with disabilities compete together and on a par with regular junior athletes. Unlike adaptive competitions, the rules of those competitions in which our inclusive teams participated didn't give discounts to people with disabilities, but together juniors and disabled people managed to meet the high standards of parachuting. Adaptive competitions, despite their increasing popularity, have one drawback: simplification made for the convenience of people with disabilities. An inclusive program doesn't reduce the standards of parachuting, but rather allows disabled people to compete on an equal footing with ordinary athletes. Thus, inclusive teams allow us to perform the social function of sports without reducing the level of the actual sport component. The recent Russian Championship, which was attended by inclusive teams, showed the correctness of our chosen path. In the process of implementing the program, it turned out that, in addition to the above-mentioned functions, there was another one: educational. Junior athletes learned the material much better when they helped people with disabilities learn flight techniques. A little more than a year ago in Moscow, at the Central Victory Museum on the Poklonnaya Hill, an absolutely innovative, unique project, Wheel, Sky, We, Together and on Equal Footing, was presented. The initiators and performers of the project were the Desantnik Sports Club, Airborne Club, and the Звёздный Путь, or Star Trek, charity foundation, with the support of the Federation of Parachute Sports of Russia. Being a unique, inclusive social and sports project, not only in our country, but also in the world, it brought together junior skydivers and disabled skydivers. The name of the project, Wheel, Sky, We, is highly symbolic and means the following. Wheel, because the participants have an iron will to overcome difficulties, diseases, life adversities, and achieve high sports results. Sky, flying people even their project implement in the sky. both in the condensed sky, indoor skydiving, and also when performing practical parachute jumps. And we, because we are all together, and because the word we means much more to us than the word I. We are a team, and this is the main difference between our project and adaptive sports, sports adapted exclusively for the disabled people. Our extraordinary participants perform at competitions without any discounts and according to the common rules for only athletes named on together and on equal footing basis. Only 1 year has passed since then. And then summing up the first result of the implementation of our project, we can proudly say we did it. Participants of the project performed well at a series of regional and national level competitions. First on trial, outside the official standings, while showing high sports results. Then for the first time in Russian and world history, our joint inclusive teams of juniors and disabled athletes took part in the official competitions of the Russian Parachuting Championship in the city of Gudarmes, Chechen Republic. They returned from these competitions having won a series of convincing victories. Together and on a par with adult athletes, ordinary participants of competitions, 3 amputees with prosthetic legs and a wheelchair user rose with our guys on the victory podium. The practical work done by Russian athletes and coaches to implement this innovative project will allow us to offer to extend our successful experience to the international level. Today, the Russian delegation proposes, in case national sport federations are interested, to discuss the inclusive of a new class named Inclusive in the competitions formation skydiving in the program of official implementation competitions in indoor skydiving disciplines. Competitions are proposed to be held according to the results for the junior class, while the teams include combination of 3 juniors plus 1 disabled person or 2 juniors plus 2 disabled athletes. It is proposed to initially hold trial competitions outside of the official standings within the framework of European and world competitions, and in case the experiment results are successful, to include the new inclusive class in the official competition standings. In conclusion, I would like to thank all of you, dear friends, for your kind attention and wish you well-being and every success. Would be glad to answer your possible questions on the issue. Thank you very much. Goodbye. It was Yuri Saparin, President of the Airborne Club Sport Club, Manager of the project Inclusive. Thank you.